Hey, everybody, welcome to a special bonus episode of Rip and Destroy podcast. I'm TJ. That is my buddy Mike.
How's it going?
And what we're doing tonight on this special bonus episode is we are taking part in the 2026 Kiss vinyl tag started by Xander over at Kiss Army Things. So shout out to Xander and everybody go follow Kiss Army Things, watch his pod show on YouTube there. And so what this is a list of 10 tags, 10 kind of categories, I guess. And so we're going to show off our Kiss vinyl that kind of adhere to those tags. Before we do, I think we do have a couple things to mention, being that today, actually, as we're recording this, they just dropped the list for Record Store Day. And for the first time ever, there is a Kiss release on Record Store Day this year.
That's the good
Um,
news. That's the good
that's the
news.
good news. Well, it's okay. Look, it's an unusual pick. Okay, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to launch right into this. Is that cool with you?
Do your thing.
Okay, so what they're releasing on Record Store Day, I unfortunately don't have a copy of the original, but it's a reissue of the 1976 radio promo. If you know your Kiss vinyl, there was a white cover with black lettering on it that was called like a special Kiss album for their summer tour with cuts for all formats or something. Just had big black lettering on the front, and it had 4 tracks from Destroyer on it, and it's highly sought after because it was like a radio only promo thing. But they're reissuing that for collectors on Record Store Day in an edition of 10,000 on black and white splatter vinyl, with some like varnish hits on the cover. I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty nice, but my I personally feel like it's a weird pick because what made the original collectible for and cool for record collectors was that it was a promo. Okay, it was not something that was sold in record stores. It wasn't something that was, supposed to be obtained by, your average fan. And now 10,000 people are going to be able to go out and just buy one. So I guess if you don't have one, I mean, it's kind of cool to have like a facsimile of it, but I feel like making it a retail item kind of diminishes the cool factor of having the original, especially when it's just 4 singles off Destroyer. So am I going to buy it? I don't know that I am. I wish I had an original copy, but that's like a several $100 record. But that's my opinion on Kiss's first ever vinyl drop on Record Store Day. I think there could have been a better choice. What do you think?
I agree. I think just about anything would have been a better choice. I always feel weird when I'm about to buy a record just because it's collectible and I know I'm never going to listen to it. So
Right.
it's got that going against it. And I just have to wonder why. I guess it's perfect for somebody who doesn't have a lot of time and doesn't have 5 or 6 of these in their record collection, which would be anybody who would consider buying, a limited edition Kiss record on Record Store Day. There's so many other cool things they could have done. They could have done another, off the soundboard. They could have done any number of things. I know we had the Eric Carr records in years past. That was really cool, but nothing about this one for me. I'm going to take a pass on it.
Yeah, and nothing against anybody who does want to get one. I mean, that's cool, but collect what you like.
Yeah,
I just figure, like I said, it's kind of diminishes the what made the original version cool and collectible for fans. But that being said, I mean, honestly, if there's one in front of me, I can't say I'm not going to buy it. So I might eat my words, but but the other big news for the Record Store Day drop is that Bruce Kulick's solo album. I don't know if this is he had 3 solo albums. I don't know if this is his first or second release. Transformer is getting a re-release on vinyl on Record Store Day, and it's got a cool new cover that looks like Crazy Nights, but it's all Bruce. I don't know if you saw that.
I
It's
didn't.
it's actually it's really cool looking.
We'll throw up a picture right here for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So that one's going to be cool. That in itself, and we'll talk about that because I think we have an episode coming up on Kiss members solo projects, and we'll talk about them. And it's a good record. It's a decent record. Will I buy that one? I'm not sure if I'm going to get that one. What do you think you're going to pick that one up maybe?
I can't really say. I'd be more inclined to buy that one than I would the 4 song Kiss one. I'd be very excited to see Bruce on tour. Every time he does like the Kiss cruises and stuff, he does a kick-ass set list, and
Mhm.
I love to watch the guy play. He's fantastic. So hope he tours. I'd probably also be more excited about some Union records on vinyl than I would this one, but maybe. It's definitely a maybe. And in both of these cases, honestly, if I got one as a gift, I'd be super stoked. So I'm not totally down on either one of them. I just don't think with a limited budget, I'm going to run out and buy them.
Yeah, heard. Yeah. So, with that being said, unless you have anything else to talk about right off the bat, I think we can get into our 2026 Kiss vinyl tag list. What do you think?
I think we could do it. I don't know how long this has been going on. I just heard about it a couple weeks ago when you sent me the text. I think this is really cool. The coolest thing about it is it brings Kiss fans together, just like a convention or a show, and you get to share, with other members of the tribe, which I think is really cool. I was somewhat limited in my offerings for a couple reasons. One of them was a fire that we had at my place. One of them was because for whatever reason, I cannot find my 1978 Ace Frehley record. It is somewhere.
Oh
And there's
man,
another reason that I'm not going to go into now because we have an episode coming up that's just going to cover that very subject. So I'll save it for that. But let's get started. I have a blast running through your record collection when I'm over anyway. So let's dive in.
cool. Yeah, let's do it. As you can see, my perspective this episode is a little bit different. I am sitting next to my Kiss vinyl here. I do have my list in front of me, and I'm going to actually just pull them right off the shelf. I don't have them set aside or anything. So yeah, let's start. So number one, the first tag is the amplifiers start to hum. Show any live Kiss record.
I'll kick it
You
off
want- Yeah,
because there's really only one way to start it, and it's with this one right here. The one that started so many people's love affair with the greatest rock and roll band in history. And people our age talk a lot about what it felt like to sit on the couch, put the big, heavy, clunky headphones on, listen to a record and stare at the sleeve. It was never better than this. Reading the letters, looking at the book, looking at the pictures, and just dreaming about what it would be like to see this band live. So to get us started, Kiss Alive.
love it. Can't go wrong with that. So for my live record, I'm going to start off with the Flex right away. You knew I'm gonna.
Of course.
And so this can be any album, official or unofficial. So I'm going to start off with the OG, Fried Alive.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, yes, an original copy from the '70s of Fried Alive, the very first Kiss bootleg, as far as I'm aware. It's got the the photocopied cover, the white sleeve, and I think my copy is just black. So it's got a plain white sleeve with just a little handwritten thing that says Kiss on it, and that's it. That's it. It's not a colored version. It's black. It's got the green version of the cover because it came in multiple different colors, I think. And yeah, that's it. So Fried Alive is my first pick.
Man. And in the words of Paul Stanley, people were just getting started.
All right, number two, Your Lightning's All I Need. Show any copy of any Ace Frehley album in honor of the Spaceman.
Okay, keeping in mind that my 78 solo record is MIA, I'm going to share this one for the simple fact that when I think about this record, I think about Rocket Ride. That's standout cut on this one. Love this record. Love Aces playing throughout the whole thing. So this is going to do it.
The funny thing is, one of my favorite parts of Alive too has always been Shock Me too with the guitar solo. So yeah, definitely, I definitely associate that album with Ace quite a bit too. My Ace Frehley pick is going to be uh, it's going to be my German copy of the Ace
Ooh,
Frehley solo record.
ooh, I like
As
that.
you can see, it's got the altered cover. It's on what is it? That's marketed by Phonogram. So weird little story about this record. So I know that the last pressing of the Kiss albums was in 1985. But when I started collecting them in around 86 or 87, I am telling you, you could not find Ace's solo record, Peter's solo record, the original cover of Creatures of the Night, or The Elder. Those four I could not find brand new in any record store in my town. And there were several record stores. There was, the Exclusive Company. There was a few stores out at the mall. None of them had any of those records. So I had a really hard time finding them. And as I was trying to collect all the Kiss records, obviously the Ace solo record was on the list. And the way I ended up getting this record was I was flipping through Hit Parader, and there was a little ad for a company, and I think they were called Hard and Heavy. I don't know if anybody remembers that company. They're a mail order company out of Milwaukee, Oregon, actually, near your neck of the woods.
Okay.
And they just specialized in imports and rare stuff and like limited editions. And they had the coolest catalogs. I meant to try to dig one out because I think I still have one or two of their catalogs somewhere. I think it might be in my bin of fanzine stuff. So, anyways, they had a list of some stuff that they had available in this little ad in Hit Parader, and one of them was the Ace Frehley solo album. So I'm like, oh great, this place has it in stock. I think it was $12. So I sent in a money order, and 6 to 8 weeks later, this shows up, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It's got a weird logo. It's from Germany or the Netherlands or something. I think they're actually printed in the Netherlands, but it's turned out, and then that was how I learned about the German versions, the altered logo. And so, yeah, actually, my very first copy of the Ace solo album was a German import. So that's my pick for my Spaceman album.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm thinking Hit Parader magazine, money order, $12 records. Those were the days, man.
Oh, those were the days. They were called the 80s.
Yes.
All right. Pick number three. Pictures only begun. Show your favorite Kiss picture disc.
All right. Well, this is where I'm going to make some people mad. I'm going to take this time and turn it into a PSA for the simple fact that I do not own any picture discs, for the simple fact that it's thin plastic, it's shallow grooves, and they sound like ass. So, you buy a record to listen to it, not to look at it anyways. But if you really need to look at a record, get a Zeotrope like this one. And until Kiss puts out a Zeotrope record, which I don't think they have, and I think that they certainly should, pick up Power Slave
Nice, dude.
and watch it spin.
That's cool. I think it's Zoetrope, but you know what? I
Probably.
will we'll forgive that. That's cool, man. I didn't know you had that. That's awesome. I love that they've been doing those lately. I don't
Yes.
have any of them, but that's a cool pick. Well, I've got a few of them, and okay, and this is another funny thing. So I made my picks after I watched Xander's video. Okay, and then I watched a few of the other Kiss creators' videos, and turns out that what do you know? Me and Fido from Hey Man, Nice Kiss Shirt have a lot of the same stuff. So my pick for my picture disc is gonna be this interview picture disc. I believe it was made in 1986. I also obtained this from Hard and Heavy, and it's got a 1975 photo on the front. On the back, I believe that's an animalized live shot. And the contents of this are a Gene Simmons interview, I think from around 1983. Way back when I got this, I put it on tape and I used to listen to it on tape. So I actually have not played this record more than a couple of times. And I think that's what's on it is just Gene talking about stuff right around the Lick It Up tour. But just because of the front cover photo and because it's not, a standard album, this is my favorite picture disc that I have. I do have a couple others. Matter of fact, would you like to talk about one of mine since you don't have one of your own?
I would love to. Oh, no, no, please go ahead. I was just sitting here wondering, like if it's a Gene interview, the real novelty is the fact that it's not like five records. How
Right.
do you how
Yeah.
do you get a Gene interview in one record? That's crazy.
Right. That should be a box set by itself. So,
I'll tell you what though, since I didn't have one, if you want to do another one,
okay,
you could like pitch hit
can
for
do.
me.
Well, I'll give you an easy one if you wanna talk about it because it's going to be something that you are familiar with. And let's do how about the
Oh,
Paul
there it
Stanley
is.
solo album?
This album holds a very special place in my heart because it was like maybe the second Kiss record I ever got because my mom and dad took me to a used record store when I was very, very young. I think at that point I just had Creatures. I just got it. It was brand new. And I went there with like $6 in my pocket and I wanted any Kiss record I could find. It just so happened to be that one. It was a great choice too. Love that record. And if you saw him on his last solo tour for Live to Win, kick-ass set list, man, because he was doing stuff that Kiss never did. He did, songs off Lick It Up, but he also played just about this whole record. And live, it was amazing. So good choice. Love it.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. This was a great record. I think the first solo album of all of theirs I heard was Gene's, which was real weird, obviously, when you were not expecting it. And then I think the next one I heard was Paul's, and I was real pleased with Paul's, I remember. So yeah.
I think the first time I heard Jeans just might have been the last time I heard Jeans.
All right. What's next? Number four is Tomorrow and Tonight. Which Kiss record do you play the most?
Okay. The one that started it all for me, Creatures of the Night.
Awesome.
Because I know we'll get to this later on a different category, and I do have a different record for that. But this too is one of those records where if I start it, I'm gonna listen to the whole thing straight through.
Yeah, there's not a bad track on that one. So I would say that the Kiss record I play the most is going to be Gotta Be Alive. I think anytime I'm just in the mood to play Kiss and don't have anything in particular in mind, and I've got a little time, I'm going to throw on Alive. You just can't go wrong. And this version that I have, this one is a Sterling Robert Ludwig loud cut, so it's like a first pressing. Sounds awesome, and you can't go wrong with this record.
You could not go wrong with Alive. I used to have three copies, and I ended up giving them away to people who, were just getting into vinyl collecting or just getting into Kiss. But I still have one, of course.
It's because we're givers, man.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, number five, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. Which Kiss record do you play the least?
All right. This one stings a little bit.
Lay it on us.
All
We can take
right.
it.
There it is. I gotta be
Yeah,
honest. I cannot tell a lie.
yeah.
I wish I liked it more.
I think we all wish. I think people have been wishing that since 1978. Actually, my pick. Okay, I was gonna pick that,
Okay.
but I do have a backup choice. I was gonna pick that one because out of all of the Kiss records, that is probably the one that I've listened to the least on any format. But as far as which Kiss record I actually spin, like the actual physical record that I own that I actually listen to the least, I'm gonna say it's gonna be one of these two. It's gonna be Carnival of
Oh,
Souls,
yeah.
which was only issued in 2014 when they did all the reissues. And as you can see, this one is actually still sealed. So definitely one of the albums that I listen to the least. The other one that I listen to the least is Crazy Nights. Also, the 2014 reissue, still sealed. Happened to get both of these on Record Store Day at Exclusive Company for 50% off. So um, which actually is crazy because these, especially Carnival of Souls, I think is going for some big money right now. So yeah, these were listed at 20.99. I got them for half off, so these were like $11 each. So yeah, so physically speaking, these are the Kiss records that I've listened to the least because they're sealed. Now I have obviously listened to Crazy Nights and Carnival of Souls more than the Peter Criss solo album and more than Hot in the Shade, but I don't have Hot in the Shade on vinyl, so I can't list that one.
I was just gonna say the real takeaway here is that neither one of us has Hot in the Shade on vinyl.
This is true.
Yep.
All right. Number six, When Lightning Strikes. Show a Kiss record you couldn't believe you found in person.
Okay. Story time. I think I've shared this one before, but it's worth revisiting for the simple fact that I got this the day it came out. Waco, Texas, went to the mall, ran up the stairs, ran to the record store, grabbed one off the display, got to see what they look like without makeup. So this is it from day one. Found it, love it.
Awesome. Another record you can't go wrong with. I listen to that one front to back as well. So I've got a cool one with a cool story. I should know where it is because it's right next to Crazy Nights. So what I have for this one is this Kiss British 12-inch of Tears Are Falling with a live version of Heaven's on Fire and Any Way You Slice It on the back. So the reason this was a crazy find was I got out of work one night and I had some errands to run on like the west side of town. And we've got a half price books over there. And I think I was going and maybe doing some Christmas shopping or picking something up at like a Target or something. I don't remember exactly what I was doing over there, but I remember something told me to go check half price books vinyl section right now. I don't know why. I'm serious. I had this weird cosmic pull. Something told me go to half price books. You got to look at their vinyl.
Your
I'm
your
like, I don't.
talisman was glowing.
It was, yeah. And I'm like, I don't really have time. I've got this other shit to do, but it just kept telling me go to Half Price Books. And for some reason, this was in the Kiss section, and I'd never seen it before. I wasn't even aware that it existed. So, I mean, obviously, I had to buy it. And It's pretty cool. It's a cool little cool 12-inch. Any way you slices it is kind of an odd choice. I don't know. It was at the maybe the B side to the Tears Are Falling 7-inch. I don't know. But it's a British 12-inch. It's on Vertigo. It comes with a sticker and a little ad for the Kiss Animalized live home video. So there it is.
Very cool. I like it.
All right. Number seven. We've already kind of talked about this, but All the Way. Show the Kiss record you must listen to all the way through.
All right. Well, Creatures for one, but more importantly, this beautiful record right here. I love this album. This is a One Kiss album my wife and I both agree on. It's the only one she likes. But I do with one caveat. It's got to start with Fanfare and Just a Boy. I like the original track listing, not the one that the record company mixed up because it made a better record, but it didn't make a better story. So, when I hear it, I want to hear the story beginning to end, and I like it.
Yes, the story, whatever that may be, it does make more sense when it's put in the originally intended order. Now, is that must be the 2014 reissue then, right?
That's it.
Okay. Yes, because I actually have I have an original and a 2014, so I've got both track orders. So I understand why the record company wanted to put the Oath first, just because they panicked. But yeah, I prefer the original intended lineup as well. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to say the record I got to listen to all the way through every time, Rock and Roll Over. Even Hard Luck Woman, even though I'm not really a ballad guy. I mean, even my very favorite record of all time, Destroyer, I usually skip Beth.
Yeah.
But Hard Luck Woman, I can deal with. The rest of this album is an absolute banger. I don't think it gets its due often enough. I got to go with Rock and Roll Over. I've got several different copies, including a Japanese pressing with the gatefold, which Fido showed up in his video too. So we're like vinyl brothers. But yeah, Rock and Roll Over, beginning to end, for sure.
Kick-ass record, my favorite cover. I like Hard Luck Woman better than Beth, so it's got that going
Same.
for it.
Yeah, same, same. All right, what do we got next? Number eight, Money Can Really Take You Far. Show a Kiss record that you bought for cheap, but it's actually worth more.
This one right here. Another one that I have multiple copies of, but this one, I think I got it for $5. And it's not just for the record, mind you.
Ha.
It's because it had this. And for $5, come on, that's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, for $5, the poster it's worth more than $5 for
Yep.
sure. Yeah, lovely, gorgeous, beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so the one that I got for cheap that is actually worth more, going all the way to the front of the Kiss section for Kiss catalog number NBLP 9001. That means this is the first pressing without Kissin' Time. It's got the tip-on jacket. It is in mostly garbage condition, which a lot of these first pressings are, but I still have the price tag on it. And I dug this up at Exclusive Company, and I don't think they knew what they had.
Oh, wow.
I got it
Wow.
for $1.99. Even in this crap condition, it's worth more than that. So I'd managed to find, one of the more highly sought after Kiss records. I don't know what the current market value of something like this is, but I know it's more than $2. So there's my find.
Love it.
We're all the way up to number nine. All Hell's Breaking Loose. Impress us. Show a rare vintage misprint, bootleg, or whatever Kiss record. So give me your best flex, buddy.
All right. Well, not entirely impressive as unto itself. Kiss Alive 3. It's number 4,496 in a limited run white vinyl. But what makes this
Yeah,
one
that is.
special? What's that?
I was just gonna say that is the first version that came out back in the '90s. That's not a recent reissue.
What makes this one special is I picked it up at the 95 convention. It's signed by three-fourths of the 92 lineup. And someday, Gene, please sign my record.
Yeah, that is a hell of a flex, buddy. If you guys go back and listen to our episode about the 1995 Kiss convention, Mike tells the entire story of how he got that signed and why Gene did not sign it. So make sure you go back and check that out. But yeah, that's a killer flex. I've got that one on red actually, and
Oh,
I think I actually
nice.
found that. I think I actually found that in the wild at New Frontier in Appleton,
Okay.
brand new. So yeah, I've got that one too, but mine does not have does not have the gold of the signatures on it. Okay, so mine is going to be another bootleg, and I guess I'm pulling this one out because I don't know necessarily what the rarity of a lot of them are, but I'm going to pull this one out. This is a bootleg called "Horny Bitches and Daisy Days." This is recorded at the live at the Daisy in New York on June 16th, 1973. So it's a super early show. It's got some of the really early working versions of some of the a lot of the songs that you think you know are different versions, like the Deuce Strutter. I mean, they're all a lot of their early songs, but some of them are a little longer. They're a little arranged a little differently. But it also has some of the early stuff like Life in the Woods, Acrobat, Sunday Driver are on this. But I guess I'm going to call this one rare because this one is on green vinyl and it was limited to only 120 copies.
Wow.
Mine is number 43. Now I don't know if that's only 120 copies of this record overall or just the green vinyl version, but I guess that makes it kind of rare. But it's also a really cool record. It's really good. It sounds pretty good. It's a really cool time capsule into some of those early working versions of the songs. And the funny thing was, I think my wife was glancing over my shoulder at some emails or something, and she saw the order when I ordered this off somebody, and she's like, "What is horny bitches and Daisy Days?" I'm like, "Oh no, honey, I'm not ordering porn. That's a Kiss record. It's a bootleg Kiss record." She's like, "Oh, okay."
I was going to ask you where you found it, but there you go.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
All right, so we're already at number 10. And the last one is "You're All That I Want." What Kiss record is currently at the top of your want list?
At the top of my want list is the 3 LP blue vinyl version of Creatures of the Night, the one that they came out with just a couple years ago. The
Oh
live
yeah.
stuff is fantastic. I love that record. Trying to get my hands on it. I think it was like 40, $50 when it came out. Now, of course, it's astronomically high, but I'm keeping an eye out for it. What about you?
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pick. So actually, the one that is at the top of my want list is not an album, but it's the original 7-inch single of Strutter. If you go back and watch, I believe it was episode 7 when we did a little show and tell. I have 27 of the original 29 Casablanca Kiss singles, and since "Let Me Go Rock and Roll" is so rare that apparently there's only like two, three known copies of it or something, I have a reissue of that one from when they did the reissue box set in 2012 of all the singles. Somebody, some people on eBay were like breaking up the sets and selling them individually. I did buy the reissue of "Let Me Go Rock and Roll." I've got the other 26 actual original singles, but I'm missing Strutter. It's a couple $100 record, but it's the only one I need to complete the set because I know I'm never going to get "Let Me Go Rock and Roll." So I'm on the lookout for an original blue label Strutter. So anybody got one for cheap, hit me up.
That's it. This is fun.
Yeah, this is great. We should talk about records more often. I love showing off records. I love talking about records and playing with them. And yes, this is my Kiss section. It is the largest section in my largest individual artist in my record collection. Obviously, they share the shelf with Jimi Hendrix over here. Kiss and Hendrix have the very first section on my record collection. So I'm always looking for more, and I can't wait to do this again next year.
Hopefully by then I'll have a lot more to work with. This is a blast. Hey, if you want to tell us why we're wrong or applaud our efforts, get in touch. Rip and Destroy Podcast at gmail.com, or you can leave a comment on YouTube, on Instagram, on Spotify. Wherever you leave it, we'll find it. Or if there's something you'd like to hear us talk about, let us know because we'll give it a shot.
That's right. And this whole tag thing is kind of a call to any Kiss content creators. If you haven't done this yet, do your own version of the video. Leave your pics in the comments, either here on YouTube or on Instagram. Make your own video, and let's see what you got.
Go buy records.
Kill the Paul, Phil. Kill the Paul.